AEW Revolution Review 2023. It's in the books. Coming from San Francisco. A terrific night. I can't wait to get into it and talk about it. It's your guy Mex, the WrestleManiac, if you will. I'm alongside VHS Pappy and Nafi and the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, NK. Boys, what are we saying? You good?
Yo, bless, man. I've got a flu in it, so if I have to stop and cough sometimes, I apologize in advance.
That's calm. Yeah. NK, what are you saying?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good in good spirits, man. Good pay-per-view, man. Good show.
It really was. It's good to see, like, despite, and to be fair, we knew this was gonna happen. Like, there's all the noise of the build hasn't been great, but on the night, I think we were all pretty confident they would deliver, and deliver they did. I don't know where this ranks, or if you guys, you've got the memory to remember where this ranks with Revolutions, just Revolutions.
I think this is the best one.
It's the best one.
Yeah. It's the top to bottom. Like, obviously, there's been, like, I think the good, obviously, last year's one had, obviously, that the CM Punk and MJF match. But then, with a lot of these, I think this is one of the best AEW pay-per-views as a whole, because there was very little filler. And there was very little, like, even during the best pay-per-views, like All Out and Forbidden Door, you can say, there's one or two matches you can point to being that wasn't that great. But I feel like this pay-per-view is like one of the most consistent pay-per-views. And I say, out of Revolutions, I think this is the best Revolution. In all-time AEW pay-per-views, it gets tricky because they've had a lot of good ones, but this is the best Revolution for sure.
And Alfie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the last 2 times I've watched Revolution, I've been somewhere. So even last year I was in Jamaica, I couldn't really enjoy it too much. You see it, plus I was ill as well. So I'm always ill when it comes to Revolution. It's crazy. But I feel like this one was sick. There was a lot of great matches on there. Surprisingly, I liked the tag team match before the main event, the triple threat tag team match. That was cool. Obviously we expected it, and they gave it to us. House of Black versus the Elite. Yeah, that one's for the history book still. So I probably enjoyed it. It was good.
I hear that. There was little things, like, obviously the 2 first matches we had, which we'll get into probably in a sec. We had the Jericho Starks match. Then we had the what do they call it? The final burial match between Christian and Jungle Boy. Both good matches in the end. I know, those are the ones that we were kind of talking about. Could have been dispensable. Didn't need to necessarily be on the pay-per-view. The one thing I noticed, like, presentation wise, those 2 matches had, like, no vignette.
Yeah.
They just got straight into it. They had no vignette.
Which is weird, because these are programs that, especially the Christian and Jungle Boy programs, been going on for a long time. There's a lot of footage for that program, but I guess maybe they wanted to save time, or
That's exactly it. Starks won, and then before we knew it, they were hitting Christian's music. But at the same time, I felt like it kind of reflects, like, these were just like, let's get these matches done with, and then move on, and everything else was kind of given the correct kind of introduction and all of that kind of stuff. Big up everyone that's locked in nice and early. Big up Elijah for coming through.
Elijah's there,
Oh, he as in he went to.
Yeah, he was at the Revolution.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's saying they had them in the venue, had the vignettes in the venue. Okay, that's good. They didn't play them on the feeds and stuff, but big up Harv as well. Harv became a member whilst on our prediction stream, so big up Harv.
Harv was in the Discord trenches with us live watchers, fam. Harv was there, fam.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, man. Lincoln, big up everyone that's in the chat, nice and early. Get your comments in. Let us know what you thought of AEW Revolution. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new here, hit the like button. And if you're feeling froggy, you're feeling away, you want to celebrate with a man, they want to come chat in the Discord, there's that join button right there, so you can join, become a member. Lots of nice perks there as well. But without further ado, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna jump into the pay-per-view and kind of go through match by match what's happened here. And they're starting off. Well, let me start off with 0 Hour. Did any of you guys catch that? Did any of you watch it? Because
Yeah,
Nah,
so I'm not gonna say where I watched it, but when I was watching, they replayed it twice before I actually got to the main show.
okay.
So it was actually decent. It was like another tag team match. Mark Briscoe's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Briscoe and the Lucha Bros, innit?
Lucha Bros, yeah. And what's this guy called again?
Varsity athletes.
Yeah, they
Josh
were in there.
Woods and Tony Nese.
Yeah, it was a calm match. It was a filler match. It was nothing like crazy in it, but it was fun in it. You know.
Okay, so yeah, I heard the match was pretty decent. I heard it was pretty good. But yeah, I didn't get around to watching it. Okay, but yeah, first match on the main card, we had Chris Jericho, the Ocho, going up against Ricky Starks. These guys have been feuding. Everyone was banned from ringside, allegedly. However, we still saw at some point as the match was going on, we still saw Sammy Guevara come down towards ringside, who was taken out by Action Andretti. So I'm not really sure how this rule works, because I guess Sammy Guevara didn't really cross that line of entering the square of the ring. He just came down the entranceway and got caught on the entranceway. But I thought this match was really good. Jericho was really good. Jericho found a way to get Floyd involved as well. I think Starks was pretty active throughout. We saw his spear. He won the match with a Rochambeau. Match was probably about 13-14 minutes, but it was a kind of good, fast-paced enough opener. And I'm hearing people say that Jericho's the king of openers at Revolution.
Yeah, because he had the one last year of Eddie Kingston as well. That was really good as well.
Yeah. What did you guys think of this match?
When this match started, I can't lie. Getting into the paper, we spoke about the build and all that stuff. So I was kind of like lukewarm on it. And obviously, I've been like extremely down on this feud. I haven't enjoyed this feud, innit? So when the match started, I was kind of okay, just get it out of the way. But then as the match progressed, I was like, okay, I'm getting into this. This is like good work. And then by the time we got to like the last 5 minutes, I was like really invested in the match. And I thought like, again, it was a really good match from Ricky Starks, really good showing from Ricky Starks and Jericho. And yeah, like when it comes to like the big pay-per-view matches that they delivered. So it was like, yeah, like great opener. Got the crowd was, I have to credit the crowd throughout the whole show. The crowd was amazing and they were like really set the tone for the whole show. And then in this match, you could see that they were pumped and it was going to be a good night. So yeah, man, like good opener.
Alfie, what's your thoughts?
Sorry. I've been honest, I didn't really feel this match too tough. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I wasn't concentrating too tough. I was editing something. I was watching it like on a mini screen pop up. So I was saying today, like, I need to actually go back and watch the beginning. At the moment I'm watching it backwards, so I'm basically reliving it backwards. But one thing I did like, I like the fact that Ricky Starks won. It's positive, man. Jericho putting the young talent over. Not even I wouldn't call him young talent, but like, I call him the new gen. The new gen put him over. So yeah, it was good. I think that's good in this sense. But I need to watch it back.
Yeah, I felt like what we got was better than what I thought we were gonna get, which is always a plus. Like, you kind of go in with low expectations and you get like pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I think they done well. It didn't dwindle. It wasn't like the typical kind of fast-paced opener to kind of start, or super violent, or the high-flying stuff. But it was relatively fast enough to kind of just get through, tell their story, and move on. So yeah, I think they done a pretty good job. Just gonna jump into the chat. I don't know if Elijah was talking about this particular match or not, but he says this was probably the weakest match, weirdly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was still good. Even if it was,
I think it was, because I feel like the Samoa Joe and Wardlow match kind of picked up towards the end, didn't it? So
I'd say the women's match.
You reckon?
It might have been the weakest.
None of the matches. I don't think any of the matches were bad. I think all the matches were good.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like, yeah, either this or the women's spot. Yeah. I enjoyed both matches though thoroughly. So it's not like these matches were dead or anything.
Lincoln says crowd was hot as hell. And goes on to say the build for AEW pay-per-views recently is giving WWE before Triple H took power. Not much build, but when the pay-per-view lights are on, the wrestlers show out massively. I mean, that's a fair response. Ultimately, the wrestlers can only ever do their job. Their number one, their primary function is to put on a brilliant wrestling match. So yeah, at a pay-per-view, they all did that as much as they could, given the stories they had. But yeah, let's not dwell on this one. It was a pretty decent opener. And let's get straight into the final burial match. This was Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. As ever, his mum and sister were ringside for his big matches, for his pay-per-view matches, as they always are. Christian Cage came to the ring, turtleneck, and I died laughing. Like he's staying committed to the heel turtleneck stick, which I thought was pretty good. Jungle Boy came in the typical street fight attire, jeans, no top, arms banded up. And then these guys, got straight to it, into the crowd and all of that kind of stuff. There was a point where Christian Cage was like, blowing kisses to the sisters and the sister and the mom in the front row and all of that kind of stuff. Several times, and Jungle Boy was on top in this match, just Christian doing the heel stuff, begging for his life, and then hits with a low blow or whatever the case is. Just really good action throughout. Again, they didn't kind of waste any time in between, worked their way up to the ramp. They teased Jungle Boy going into the casket. Jungle Boy, fought his way out. Then we eventually got Christian. The tables turned and Christian was laying down in the concerto. Christian had earlier tried to give Jungle Boy a concerto. He escaped. Jungle Boy finally committing to do what it takes to, win a match dirty or by any means or whatever the case is. I guess that's the bit of the story they've been trying to tell, that, Jungle Boy hasn't quite got that edge, that side of him, that grit. He eventually rolled Christian Cage into the coffin. Took his sweet time to kind of put him away. It looked like he almost like gave him a kiss on the forehead or something before he closed the coffin. And I have to hand it to them. I've never seen anything like it. When the coffin closed,
that went fast.
Fam,
I was moving like a locomotive train, fam.
I thought I was watching Bollywood or something, but I rated it like I thought that like there was usually it's just like the close and then you hear the bell rings in it, like
or they'll have like a tractor pull like dust or something.
The soil over it and stuff.
Yeah,
but I felt like the close the coffin like drop down 6 feet under. I thought that was a really good effect. Like
he definitely got whiplash, though, I can't lie. The way the thing was moving it, because he went forward and it went bam like that.
They did a really good job with that. I was impressed. Maybe it's a little thing I'm getting overexcited for nothing, but I thought it was really good. What did you guys think of this match?
I thought this match was a good match. It was a scrap. That's why I liked that each match, because I think before the pay-per-view, and I'm glad that they made it a casket match instead of just a no disqualification match. I felt like it suited the feud much more. But yeah, even though we had I think we had maybe 2 or 3 matches that were no DQ on the pay-per-view. I know we obviously had the barbed wire match that was late, the death match that was later on, but each no disqualification match felt different. It didn't feel like the same type of match. But yeah, this felt like a proper good fight. Christian with the turtleneck was making me laugh. That's a nasty fit. Like man said, turtleneck with no sleeves. That's a funny drip.
That's it's girls drip. Girls they sell that all the time, bro.
You know it is when I first saw Christian. I saw the all black. I saw the turtleneck. And I really like what clicked to me was like, cool. This guy's dressed for a funeral. Immediately, all black, everything, turtleneck. All he was missing was just a long coat.
Yeah,
you see it. So yeah, I don't know. I like the drip. I don't mind the drip. See me, I already said the drip was good in Break It Down. Go check out Break It Down Christian's episode. So anything Christian wears, I'm for it.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious. Just being so committed to the turtleneck, man, just cut off the sleeves. It was a good fun match. Again, like I don't think it lasted longer than it need to or anything like that. They just got to the point, done a little brawl around the ring, done some stuff in the ring, worked their way up the entranceway. put him away and it was done. Elijah says that Christian Cage was awesome. I'm sure he was, because to be fair, now where Christian said that, obviously he made kind of a strong hint, nudge that he wants a singles title this year. Where do you see him kind of coming back into the fold? I mean, especially now that he's been like buried alive or whatever the case is.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the year, it's a long year. Like we could see him like end of the year, maybe like September times, win a championship. I don't think there's anything for him right now, which is fine. Yeah. But I keep saying TNT in it because I don't know. I don't see him as an all Atlantic guy. Maybe TNT. Who knows? Maybe he might be in a tag team with someone. There are rumors of Edge's contract coming up, but
yeah.
There are rumors of Edge's contract coming up, so there might be Edge and Christian in AEW. And Tony Khan's a big fan of Edge, so who knows, isn't it? But I don't know. I don't know what's for him, but I've been like Christian in AEW has been a massive success, and I feel like they've booked him well. And we'll see where he goes. I don't know where he'll be for now. I don't think he's going to win anything anytime soon. I feel like the relative title picture, especially the TNT title picture, if they do the right thing on Wednesday, will be properly occupied, isn't it? So, yeah.
I just remember, just as you were saying that Christian beat Kenny Omega.
Yes, he did. Great match as well.
Mad thing. But yeah, he has been a large success for the most part. I was just thinking, Double or Nothing, does he have one of those like casino battle royale matches where he can win and ultimately avenge the one that he lost against Jungle Boy, and that's the reason why he turned on Jungle Boy, isn't it?
Yeah.
If there's some type of shortcut to get him against MJF.
Then you'd have to go up against MJF.
Okay, yeah, they wouldn't do that.
MJF will be good though, can't lie.
It would be, but they're both heels.
They're both heels, isn't it?
I think we're getting close to a CM Panache return, innit? So I'm looking forward to CM Punk and MJF clashing again, innit?
Even that, like, I don't know how the crowd are going to take to CM Punk returning. Yeah.
Bro, are they paying his bills, bro? Tony Khan wants to let him come through, man.
No, but I'm saying in the dynamic of the feud, like, Mandem would boo him.
But then again, who's MJF like going to next? MJF has already completed his saga with Daniel Bryan, no? Bryan Danielson.
I can't lie. There's man.
I think Hangman's a viable option.
I can't lie. Hangman needs to stay away from the top for a bit. Let's finish the story, man.
There's Adam Cole.
He got a big win.
Adam Cole as well.
Yeah, Adam Cole's definitely a big one. I think Adam Cole should be more in the tier of someone that should be dethroning MJF. Not to say he can't have a pop earlier in the year and lose and then come back round to it, but yeah.
I mean, we'll get to contenders later, innit?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. Harv says here, the Christian Break It Down video has got to be redone. 5 got to be given in every category. No, I hear that. Christian, he was very good last night. Elijah says he can easily go after Orange Cassidy. That's the All Atlantic title. And that he'll be a good heel for the All Atlantic title. And he also says that I guess Adam Cole as a competitor as well, like we were just saying. Harv says apparently there was a light CM Punk chart last night and the crowd immediately booed.
Yeah. Dave Meltzer said that. Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez were in the crowd and they said somebody tried to get that over, and then like 80% of the arena just booed it.
That's crazy, fam.
It really makes sense, bro.
But then again, if these men have look, I say this year, if man have squashed their beef, which I'm sure it's been squashed.
No,
which I'm pretty sure it's been squashed. Like Tony Khan won't let this thing go on for that long. Come on,
no, squashed and being civil are like
okay. Cool. Let me put being civil. I'm sure these men are being civil. Yeah, cool. I'm sure he's like when he comes back, I'm sure he'll do like a big apology. He has to. He has to do an apology. He has to do an apology. So I don't get why people are booing, man. And then again, if he's booing, then yeah, he's doing his character, innit? He's a heel, innit? So
CM Punk was not a heel.
I mean, he's a heel now.
Elijah says it's a disrespect to the people in the ring, and he says, I don't think it's because people hate CM Punk. I think, you know, the apology has to be as loud as the disrespect. As they say.
It has to be public.
But at the same time, I think he can run that like a genuine apology, but if the crowd still boo him after that, then that's fine. I think that's cool. Like it's whatever in it, because like I've tried, and then he could turn it into a "you people, I tried to move on, blah blah blah." Like that might be interesting, but the apology has to be a public one. Like he disrespected the entire
company or media scrum.
Just
like if it was just a brawl backstage, you handled it backstage, innit? But like I said, you took that public, innit? But anyway, we got a pay-per-view to talk about, man. The pay-per-view was good without Phil Brooks, man.
Man, like Philly. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next match on this card. And if I'm correct, this was the trios match at this point.
Yeah.
So we had the AEW World Trios Championship on the line. The Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Bucks going up against House of Black, Brody King, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews. Bruv, the way the crowd went mad when Omega and Matthews were starting this match, it's like people have been dying to see this.
It's a dream match for Doe, isn't it?
Yeah, and we were saying in the prediction show, me, Doe, and NK, like there's still like several singles matches we can get from this if this feud continues. But anyway, these guys, they started off. The House of Black, did they change their entrance music? I think it was different.
But they always, them man always change their feet.
Something sounds a bit different every single time.
Yeah, something
like it's always the same vibe but different theme.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like it's probably made by the same person, but just different alterations to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, Buddy Matthews and Kenny Omega started the bout. The crowd are going ballistic. Like, definitely want that match soon. I think there was a time where Malachi Black got into the ring with Omega when and people were going mad for it. Those two had some nice interchanges as well. Then I remember pretty early on, Matt Jackson asked to be tagged in, and he was begging for Brody King. When Brody King came in and kind of stood over him imposingly, we saw him kind of beg Nick to be tagged in. Nick didn't come in and get involved. Very good spots throughout this match. I remember specifically there was one knee that Malachi gave Kenny Omega, rocked his jaw, bro. Like, absolutely crazy. And Omega was putting out some of his best sells all over this match. Really kind of putting over that these guys are the real deal on the other side of the ring. There was a spot where I think Brody King crushed Omega against a chair. And then, of course, we started seeing Julia Hart play into this match. Was it a V-trigger that she got on the apron?
Yeah.
And then she dropped. This what was the finish of this again? Was it Matt? It was Matt that got pinned. Well, I think it was off the back of a Dante's Inferno, is it?
Yeah, I think they hit like combination finishes in them, and then after Dante's Inferno, I believe. Yeah.
Really, really good match. The
Buddy Matthews, the spot where Nick Jansen wanted to do the Meltzer driver and Buddy Matthews hit him with a knee. That
was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
That was mad. Yeah, that was right. That was right at the finish. Yeah, he got Matt. And they hit him with a Dante's Inferno. Pinned Matt Jackson. And then, we've got new trios champions. So, House of Black, which I think a lot of us are happy about, are now the AEW Trios World Champions. Guys, what are we thinking?
Great choice. Right decision. I told you, I want to see Kenny fly a bit. I want to see Kenny do some singles run a bit. Especially now he's like the USA New Japan champion. They even call it that. They call it the United States.
United States.
Obviously now the FTR back in, I'll probably see them go back in the titles, the tag team titles in again. Because I feel like that needs a bit of boost as well. The triples tag team have now come in and it's kind of like, not say overshadowed, but it's kind of like put the tag team title.
I think it has overshadowed.
Yeah, overshadowed a bit. So it's nice. These guys can go back and run that in it. So yeah, man.
Yeah, this match was incredible. I really want to see Malachi Black versus Kenny Omega. As a single match. I feel like Like just the sequences, the exchanges. Like Malachi Black as a striker, like he's so crisp with his combinations. This match was exactly what I wanted it to be, and I feel like House of Black, since they've come into AEW, it's like we've always questioned, okay, what are they doing with these guys, and and then obviously those the rumors that Malachi Black wanted to leave, and then he came back, and it was like, okay, like let's see them cook with these trios championships, and the trios championships have been like hot potato recently, and obviously some of that is due to circumstances like the elite go in and so on and so forth. But I want to see now House of Black have the titles to at least double or nothing. Like have them on weekly TV defending the titles. And these man do mysticism right. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. They cut spooky vignettes, but at the end of the day they get the job done and they wrestle good matches. They wrestle matches that we can comprehend. You know what I'm saying? So
not like that other fella.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like,
you're trying to send for Barrett.
Hey, but he doesn't look his right, fam. But yeah, I'm happy for House of Black, and obviously this frees up the elite to do whatever. Apparently on Dynamite last week, I said they showed up being the elite. They were supposed to have like a 10-minute not a 10-minute like 10 minutes of time dedicated to like a promo or whatever. But because the show overran, they had to cut it. So I feel like the elite are gonna do something story-wise, and yeah, like who knows? Maybe you might get the elite versus CMFTR or so on and so forth, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what holds for the elite, and obviously they've got unfinished business with Hangman that they could always revisit. So yeah, man. Overall, this is the best decision, and I want to see House of Black cook, man. I want to see House of Black cook.
Yeah, definitely. It's the right choice. We were saying this again on the prediction show, that splitting the elite for a bit, just letting them do other things all over the card, or even if you don't split them, but you just let them move freely all over the card. Don't be shackled by the fact that they're champions or whatever the case is. It's what's best for the show. Big up Ben, who's in our Discord. He was saying today as well that with all the new TV deal money that AEW are getting, they have to give it to the Bucks and Kenny Omega. There's no chance that these men should be allowed to leave or entertain conversations from WWE. Like, this is their home, and that the show is integral. They are integral to the show. They're integral to AEW. So 100%, I agree with that. Like, it's time, it's show business, isn't it? The year started off now, bit of a slow start. We've had the first pay-per-view more than delivered, in my opinion. It's time to, heat up for the rest of the year.
Look at the guys they've brought to us. We're going to talk about what one of their projects that's a success in the next match. Hangman Page, fam. Like that's something the elite gave us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be seeing the greatness that this guy's did, fam. Look what my boys did, fam. Yeah, man.
Big facts. Big up Del Boy. Giving us £2 super chat. Got the reverb on. Banger Badizio, baby. Yeah, this match was one of these times I got to this point and thought, okay, this is the match of the night. And I didn't know what else was coming.
Not so, but 1,000.
Harv says that Kenny Cell where he done the split. Yeah, that was a big good one. Elijah, you still got the card on the main screen. Oh
yeah, we had it up for a bit. It's fine.
Supine Smokey, long overdue. Next to Death Triangle, they need all the booking to peak somewhere. Yeah, they need to be given the keys now to basically run House of Black for sure. He says loves the Bray shade. Elijah says Elite versus BCC.
Yeah,
I don't even know if BCC are much of a thing, really. But
I mean, they are on Moxley's side. They all back Moxley. With Danielson, they leave him alone. But with Moxley, they all back it. It's like Moxley's the favorite one. Like they all rate Moxley, they don't rate Danielson. That's crazy.
It's true. Half says, who would next feud with House of Black though? Top Flight, AR, maybe, but they already just had a mini feud with the Elite.
The thing is, they rinsed out Death Triangle to death.
I was just about to say Lucha Bros and someone.
What about Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh?
Satnam, they're heels though.
I ain't trying to see that.
I wouldn't mind seeing, bro. I can't lie. Look, like I said, like everyone in AEW can perform in it. You see it. So put these guys in the ring with House of Black. I'm sure you're gonna get a match.
The House of Black, the pacing and everything, I just feel is different. Like I feel, especially you have to give these man now to kind of set their run alight. A lot of those kind of matches, especially to start with.
Best friends, like as an initial title defense would, like, not as a long time feud, but like as a title defense on Dynamite would work.
Wait, what other trios?
Elijah says Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. That to be fair, that's in the same remit as Best Friends. Like,
to be fair, Best Friends can work though.
No, Best Friends can work. Yeah, this is the same thing though. Like, just a fun, loving crowd that people can get behind, and then the House of Black beat them.
What about the
Dynamite?
What about these guys? What's his name? Roosh and Harry Kane. What's the guy called again?
Man, like what they call it, Peligro.
Preston Vance.
Preston Vance.
Yeah. Who's the last person that's part of the group?
Andrade, but he's been disappeared.
Unless they use Jose the assistant. I know that guy can wrestle. The guy's jacked, bro.
Yeah, like hold that. Wait, what teams did they have for the trios tournament?
Aussie Open.
They could do Dark Order. They could do Dark Order.
Who did you say, NK? Dark Order. Yeah, Dark Order's a shout.
But Dark Order's not even about no more, like.
No, them man are about.
They've recently resurfaced on TV, but they haven't been on TV for much before that.
Uno,
innit? They had Osprey and Aussie Open. Which would be a treat if they brought those guys back for a week or so.
Oh,
that would be really good.
That would be lit. Yeah.
Wait, quick question, yeah. Are these men signed to New Japan? Because when they came up for the the Battle Royale, they had New Japan.
They New Japan talent, yeah.
But okay, cool. But I remember them saying they're not even signed to them.
They ain't got a contract, but it's like
they're representing.
Yeah, it's a weird thing with New Japan. Like they're
all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, because they're not AEW talent in it. So I guess you got to give them they have a home somewhere. It's just the homes they're renting. They ain't got mortgage.
I would have put Rev Pro in there, bro. But yeah,
yeah. If they're not signed, then yeah. Well, they were. I don't know if they're still. No, I don't think they are. They're not strong champions anymore, are they?
No,
they were strong tag champions for a bit last year. Yeah, cool. Okay. Lincoln says here they haven't revisited the feud, but there was tension in BCC between Utah, Claudio, and Bryan Danielson, leading out from the stuff with Regal. Don't know if they revisit that.
You can do House of Black versus BCC.
Yeah, there's a shout. Half says Andrade returning soon. And then everyone's chiming in on the Aussie Open related stuff. Cool. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Like I said, I thought we had seen Match of the Night at this point, but Lord knows the next one. That's a real banger by Dizio. Oh no, he's pointing to the red. He's pointing to the blood. Pastor NK's joined the chat.
That match was a blood sacrifice.
Let's get into it. The text is Death Match. John Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. This match, was different. Like, I watched this match, and I was just so proud of professional wrestling. Like, just full stop. It was like professional wrestling 1, sports entertainment 0. Like, this match was so good. Hangman had, did anyone know the reference of his entrance music?
Nah, I don't know.
I
think it's from a film. I'm racking my brain.
Someone said from Red Dead Redemption, the game, but I don't remember hearing that from the game.
Maybe it was number 2. I don't know.
I think it's like from an old Western movie or something like that. I'm sure someone in the chat will let us know. But where it kind of came to mind for me, the commentators probably said it, to be fair. But
they probably did.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Before the match started, you could just see barbed wire barbed wire everywhere, loose barbed wire tables, and all of them things, barbed wire boards. All of these things was around the place. I think this is one of them matches. It's just hella spots. Like there's just too much to kind of even recap here. One of the first spots that caught my eye was the fork. When Moxley pulled out the fork, he had Hangman in the triangle. Man was like boring him in the head with the fork. I was like, yo, like this is it's actually crazy. There was a power bomb onto the chair. But luckily, like when Page dropped Moxley onto it, he just missed like the two backs of the chairs against each other and landed on one side of the chair, because that probably would have been nasty with the amount of force he had thrown him down with. Plenty of barbed wire spots, barbed wire around fists. I remember those went for the Hariyama moonsault. He wrapped the barbed wire around his chest and then went for the moonsault.
Yeah. I can't lie. I thought that spot was stupid. I can't lie. Maybe it's me.
it didn't quite land.
Yeah, it didn't really land.
So I hear that. Well. But yeah, like it's just the torture of it all. Like sometimes I look at the barbed wire and I'm thinking, is this gimmicked? Like, is this actual like real barbed wire? But then obviously you see the damage it does. So
yeah,
you know, somewhat yes, it is real. What else was there? There was the bricks when Moxley got the bricks out. He stomped Hangman onto a brick, and then everyone started singing Seth Rollins music in the crowd, which was funny. Then I think he done another spot with the bricks later on in the match, where I think he had his hand in between the two bricks.
Sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I can't even do this match justice with the amount of madness and chaos and everything from this. And
then obviously Hangman. The finish, Hangman done Hangman, and you know it was Moxley that brought the chain out.
Bruiser Brody, what you call it? Reference, isn't it? No?
Yeah, and
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, and he wrapped it around his neck, and I think after a lariat or so, I can't remember if he jumped over the top rope or
so
Hangman pulled him over.
It was a box shot, and then obviously Moxley stumbled into the ropes. Hangman hit him with a lariat, and Moxley fell over the rope, and then Hangman obviously just tied it around his neck.
Mad thing, like what? And literally, is the visual for me of Moxley tapping out. I was like, oh my god, because Moxley don't give up for nothing. Like he literally must have seen his life flash before his eyes for a man to tap out, and be released. So yeah, that puts over Hangman big. We all expected a Hangman win. Match was incredible, honestly. Like just the right amount of violence and blood for me. Like I absolutely loved it. What do you guys think of it?
Listen, I can't scream in my house, but pour it. I don't think you understand. You see, during this match, I was looking at the TV. I said, everybody must bleed. Everybody must pour blood. This is dead. Listen, no. When you say stipulations like Texas death match, they didn't even say Texas death match. They said Texas death. When you're saying when you're using the word death in the match, I must see Mandem be pour blood. I must see violence. I must see carnage. This is a match not made for children. I don't want to hear, oh, it's too much. No, you see when Moxley like got the fork and started boring Hangman's face, I said, dude, we're in for something special. Do you know I feel sorry for Renee? Because she has to watch her husband
every week pour blood.
Long. It's a blood sacrifice.
Every week is I must do this. Deep some of the matches Moxley's been in. He did the lights out match with Kenny Omega. Then he did the exploding barbed wire death match. Then he did the no holds barred match with Eddie Kingston when there was
even speak about what happened last week. Zombie Mox, that needs to be an unlockable character. Zombie Mox, even that one alone. How could you come and kiss me after that?
I can't lie. I watched this match, and at the finish, when they were like unchaining Mox, I said to myself, you know what? It's actually not necessary for him to bleed every week now. Like if we can get this at a pay-per-view and like build to this,
Special.
Like I felt, I don't know, maybe it's been this particular season because we've seen him bleed literally like every week for like this entire year so far, and then obviously last night he was just literally pouring it. Like I feel like the season's finished. That was the season finale of the Blad. Like,
yeah, it shocked me more when Hangman bled than Moxley. Like when Hangman started bleeding, that's when I was like, oh. Yeah.
Nah, it's been a good season of pouring it. I feel like Moxley needs to end the season finale done now.
He should go home. He shouldn't wrestle. He needs to go home. Like you see, after this match, Moxley 2, maybe 1 month. I don't mind if I don't see you on TV, bro. It's fine. Go home. Relax. Because last year he was supposed to go on holiday. He didn't go on holiday.
He didn't go on holiday.
He didn't go on holiday.
He took some Kaikos, bro. We call that place, bro.
No, this match was incredible. This is my favorite match of the night. My favorite. Like I love this match.
Likewise. Elijah says the parents were covering their children's eyes.
You know what? Yeah. Do you know what? I'll be real with you. Yeah. This is Anafi speaking. Obviously, the blood was worked well. Blood was worked well. But on a second view, and obviously I saw the blade come and Moxie cut his head in the corner, which was fine because obviously it's a Texas death match. But I like the way Hangman bled. Hangman bled very well. It was good. I wouldn't say for me it was like, okay, there was wrestling moves in there, but I won't say to me it was like, this is pro wrestling. Nah. I think this was like a great match with great action and violence. The Round and Mount is what he said on the tin. Death match. Someone like Moxie being hanged. That's a crazy visual, fam. That's what we expected. So
I'm comparing this. When I say that, I'm comparing it to like I've watched a lot of CZ. There was a time where I was addicted.
Oh, CW, yeah.
There was a time I was literally addicted to death matches, like just to get that fix. And those were like, God forgive me, but it was all like a lot of kind of lower level kind of guys.
But do you know them ones
fighting and doing that kind of stuff just to get over and all of that kind of stuff. Like this, there was a whole story behind this. There was wrestling in between.
And it was a good match.
It was a good match, and the violence was like the icing on top for me. Like that's why I feel like they really knocked it out of the park with this one.
Because I'll be watching some of these GCW Digger death matches. Mandem are doing light tubes for no reason. Don't get me wrong, I like a death match, but work it well. Some of these the death matches be having no rhyme or reason, fam.
Like GCW, I don't mind. Like GCW do death matches pretty decent, but it's other death match companies where they got 2 women in the ring and they just smashing each other in the head with, and there's no sort of like.
This is it. There's no wrestling. There's no pro wrestling. Like.
Yeah, there's no pro wrestling. It's just like, okay, you hit me, I hit you. Tomato to you. But this one was good.
Selling it. Like
it was good. Yeah.
No, the spot that got me gassed was I think Moxley. Like I think Hangman went for a buckshot. Moxley reversed it into like a Death Rider. Then that's when he did the curb stomp. That whole sequence was clean.
Yeah, that was cold. That was cold.
Guys, can you agree with me on this? Yeah. Do you feel like when if Moxley does ever bleed again,
which he will,
which he will, obviously, do you feel like he should sow the blood a bit more?
No. Do you know why? Because that's not his character. Because we saw when MJF did it, the scared. Like we're gonna get to MJF. How scared MJF Moxley's tapped. The problem with Moxley is because he does it every week. Moxley should never be afraid of blood. Moxley should.
There you go.
Pride.
There you go, NK. So if he didn't do it every week and he bled one time, and it's like when he bleeds, he sees red, like Def Jam red, like shh.
But it's too late now, bro.
But he's done it.
He's in too deep, man.
He's in too deep.
He's in too deep, bro.
Like, we saw the fear of when Hangman done the suicide dive and pushed him into that board of barbed wire. It's chilling in it for a minute, and then it's like, oh my god, I'm in here, like sort of thing, innit? Like those moments we rarely see from Moxley because he just goes through so much madness in every match, like that is second nature to him, and that's why like the visual of him struggling, and then tapping out, like I was literally like, oh my god, like because for him to do that, this guy must be on his deathbed at this point, like
Moxley's like whole character, even the promo he cut, he said like, I remember he said, I live for this, like this is where I live. Like I grew like that. Moxley's
Man
Bro,
said if
boxing,
we both walk down walk down a narrow path or something like that, or a back road, who's gonna come out? Who do you
yeah.
think's gonna?
Like
That's raw,
Moxie's
you
the
know.
type of person to take his blood and lick it. He loves it. He
Yeah,
loves
blood
it.
in his
And
mouth. He looked like Yummy Kiss. Not
yeah,
Kiss. You know that wrestler from WCW, just like the Kiss, one of the Kiss members. Had like face, but he had a red tongue.
Yeah,
I forgot his
yeah.
name. Because you look like one of them. His tongue was red like Vimto. I say, yo, this guy is on stuff, man.
he's fried. He's fried. I love it. I love it.
Lincoln says both BCC wrestlers on the night tapped out, you know, and it was the two that started the damn faction.
That's crazy.
Boy, it's true. It's true. Elijah, exactly, Lincoln. Time for them to amp up the violence and go heel. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it, you know.
I'm here for the violence.
DTE.
Lincoln says Moxley on a career-wide mission to get the perfect Crimson Mask wrestling has ever seen. I'm convinced he's looking for that Stone Cold Crimson Mask look.
He can't get it, you know. Do you know why? I've heard wrestlers say when you blade too much, that the skin heals in a way where like the blood doesn't pour out like naturally. So like if you ever notice Moxley bleed, it's like he only bleeds in a certain spot. It's never like it never flows over here because the skin has been teared too much, fam. The skin has been teared too much. It's healed a weird way. You see when MJF and Hangman bleed, they bleed clean. It goes on their face. Even Wheeler U, it goes here. Moxie stays.
The Wheeler U is one. That was bro. That was a tandoori, bro.
Oh, I love that one.
It's so red. It looked purple and burgundy, bro.
Yeah, it was proper burgundy.
Yeah, tandoori, bro.
Because the blade is fresh. Moxley, I'm telling you, he probably blades in the same spot every week because it's always here.
He knows how to open the wound. Big up our guy Suplex with a super chat. Suplex says Moxley doesn't know what sweat is. He only bleeds. Yeah, it's coming like that still. 100%, bro. Yeah, Del said Kiss Demon. That's what the thing was. Big up. Knowledge says Hangman and Mox was a pro wrestling masterpiece. It was physical, violent. It had a level of actual storytelling that is rarely seen in modern wrestling.
Yeah,
you said it better than I did. Yeah, that's it. Like I felt for me, obviously we'll get to the main event in it, but like for me, this was the match of the night personally. But yeah, moving on from these guys and what they've done here. Let's go back because I think we missed out the AEW Women's World Championship match. Champion Jamie Hayter defending against Saraya, defended against Ruby Soho. Obviously, the backstory of this one had the elements of the AEW originals versus, you know, the OGs or the people that came in from elsewhere and all of this kind of stuff. Pretty decent match between these women. I saw a lot of people praising that, you know, the last few pay-per-view matches have obviously had Jamie Hayter on them in terms of women's matches. I think before this was the one that she won. Before this one, Full Gear was where she won the championship, and I think before that was like a tag match or something.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are saying generally that the quality of these matches is getting better, and Jamie Hayter's the common denominator, which is a fair point. She's been great. I think we were saying before the stream started, this might be one of Saraya's best outings since she's come back into the business and stuff. Ruby Soho was good as well. This match ended with Jamie Hayter getting one over Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho was shocked to be pinned. Then we saw Britt Baker tried to send on the ring. Toni Storm was actually first to kind of take out Jamie Hayter. Then Britt Baker got involved. Both women, Britt Baker got beaten up, taken out. Ruby Soho steps up, and Ruby Soho seemingly gets rid of Saraya and Toni Storm, looking like she's taken sides alongside Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker as one of the AEW originals. Turns on them, taking those two out, sides with Saraya and Toni Storm, takes the green spray paint thing they've been using, sprays the L for loser on these two, walks out with Saraya and Toni Storm. I mean, she's been wearing green hair this whole time. Ruby Soho, her hair's had green in it, but maybe that was a nugget this whole time that she was going to join them, because obviously at the pay-per-view, Saraya and Toni Storm were wearing or had green accents in their attire. What did you guys think of this match and the turn at the end of this match?
I really like this match a lot. And one thing I'll give credit to women when it comes to triple threat matches that I don't often see, they didn't usually do the triple threat formula of you throw someone out of the ring, these two fight, all three women were in the ring at the same time for large sections of the match. Like there were obviously small sections where somebody would get thrown out, but all three women were fighting with each other, and that's something I've really appreciate about triple threat matches when done right, because I feel like a lot of the time they just feel like segments of singles matches, but this match all three women were interacting and doing their thing. And Jamie Hayter, man, she's the truth. She's the truth. Like her track record of matches is like the level of consistency she has in her matches, and she's always the star in the matches. She's always the person where her offense is clean, her lariats are clean. Listen, I can't wait for Forbidden Door 2. Listen, put her in with these Stardom girls, and then she'll start cooking suya. But yeah, this match was good, man. I really, it was an enjoyable match. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best women's matches or anything like that, but Saraya had a good showing. Ruby Soho had a good showing, and obviously the finish of the match was the roll up. And then in the group chat, I remember thinking, I don't know about that finish. That finish came out of nowhere. But then when they did the angle, never the angle was well done. I feel like the angle got the reaction that it needed to get. Even though the story's been a bit janky. In some places, like I feel like the angle worked. It reminded me when Ruby Soho did the kick. It reminded me when Finn Balor kicked Gargano in NXT.
The Pele kick.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like overall this is a very enjoyable match, and the story. I wouldn't say the story is good, but it's intriguing. It's weird. I wouldn't say it's good or bad. It's intriguing. And obviously now the lineup's 3-2. By the way, where's Rebel? Where's Reba?
Yeah, she wasn't there. She wasn't there for whatever reason.
I didn't see her in a minute, but yeah, obviously they've got the outsiders got Saraya, Toni Storm, and now Ruby Soho. I wonder who's gonna join Britt's team. There's rumors of Chris Statlander being coming back soon. There's obviously Hikaru Shida in the wings. So I feel like a good faction warfare. It might get women's blood and guts. Who knows, isn't it? So the women might pour it, and Britt Baker, she's female. Well, to be fair, at least she bleeds every other pay-per-view. She spaces it out. But yeah.
No, I hear that, and the blood and guts reference you made is kind of what most people have been alluding to since this started. This has been somewhat intriguing and where they're going with it. I think we were saying last time as well on the prediction show that it's almost as if someone else was supposed to come in at this point, i.e. maybe a Mercedes Moné. Maybe they thought they could get her, and for whatever reason, maybe they just can't get her yet, or whatever the case is. And this story is kind of dwindled, it's kind of dragged out a bit. Like at first, like I said, I find it hard to believe people are fighting over Ruby Soho, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it's like, why are you so desperate for Ruby Soho to join one of your teams when there's still like a whole other roster of women that are available? And Alfie, what did you think about this match?
I thought this match was cool. It was a decent match. Like I said, off the stream, I feel like it was a good showing for Saraya. Obviously, there was that one spot where she stopped everyone. She was like, no! And after they kicked her in the head. I found that part funny. It was cool. The ending was great. That Pele kick to the head was delivered nice. Jamie Hayter saw that well. I think it was a good match. I have nothing don't have nothing bad to say, man.
Yeah, they've done a good job.
And Jamie Hayter's a good champion as well.
Yeah, so she's phenomenal. Elijah says irony of spray painting an L on the champ after getting pinned. He's a hater, isn't it? Lincoln makes the Pele kick reference as well to Balor's turn. Smokey says that the hater is putting up MVP numbers. Yeah, she's really setting pace over there. Let's take this one from Harv. He says, let's say we're getting blood and guts with these women. Which other women are you guys having to fill out each team? 3 more OGs and 2 outsiders.
It'll be 5-5. I would say I can't lie, but the problem is the OGs, yeah, with the team I'm thinking, it's overpowered. Because
Talk.
Who? Go on.
Because you've got Chris Statlander,
Mm.
and then if you want to include Jade Cargill in that one, Ghoul,
Team's mad still.
the team, if you want to include Jade Cargill in that one, and then who else? And then Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
What? So basically, that's what you've got: three champions in Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and obviously Jamie Hayter. You got Chris Statlander, who's like easily championship material.
Yeah.
From the outsiders, I don't know.
I think if they're going the blood and guts route and main eventing, Monet has to be a shout.
For sure. I was gonna say Athena, but she's doing ROH stuff. But Athena would be a good shout for the outsiders.
Yeah.
Athena will be a great shout. I can see her in that blood and guts match, moving mad in the ring.
Yeah. Athena would be a good shout.
What one for Willow?
She's not really OG.
Where has she been? Is she just?
No. She's been on. She was on Ring of Honor the other day.
I need to catch up on that.
She had a who does she beat? Lady Frost, and then she's called out Athena for a title match. So
yeah,
Willow's doing good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know who'd be on the outsiders because to be fair with women, they haven't had a lot of imports in it yet. I think you got to call in favors from Mercedes and then have I don't know, bring some of the Stardom girls she's doing stuff with, or some old girls she knows in the industry. I mean, I think you can. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got working relationships with other companies. I'm sure they can pull stuff around. Do you know what will be cold? They won't do it, but shout Impact, shout for some of them ladies. Make a phone call, because they're outsiders anyway. So
who you think from Impact?
I was about to say Jordan Grace, but she might be holding it down for her man who got beef with AEW.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know about that. What's this girl? Kiera Hogan.
Kiera Hogan, yeah.
I mean, they don't use her as much as a star, but ability-wise, she's there, no?
No, ability-wise, she's cold, but the way they've booked her, that's dark.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The way they booked her, dark. That's on them, innit? But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The outsiders need to make phone calls because the originals, they got stuff there. They got stuff there.
Okay. Delboy says if you watched Indie Takers, you'd know she was in RH.
Plug.
Indie Takers is the new podcast on the channel covering all stuff indies every week. So the first episode's on there, so you guys can check that out if you want your indie fix as well. But yeah, the women done really good in this spot. I feel like things are more and more coming together within the women's division. Right, let's move on to the TNT Championship match. This followed the Moxley and Hangman match, so it was given a very tough spot in that respect. Samoa Joe defending the TNT Championship against Wardlow. This match was decent. This match was pretty good. I think, again, the spot they were given is what made it a bit harder to watch after the high of what you just watched coming back and then watching this. But there's a lot of good spots. Wardlow hit a corkscrew in this, which was really cool. We saw an attempt of the powerbomb symphony stuff. We saw attempts of Joe trying to choke him out, giving the coquina clutch. Effectively, what ended the match was Wardlow getting Joe in a coquina clutch, and Joe passed out. Right, he didn't tap out.
Yeah, I think he passed out.
Yeah, and there was kind of like an eerie kind of shock that went over the arena, that Wardlow, won the title here. And
according to reports from the arena, it was like Joe was actually the crowd favorite in this match.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Joe got the bigger reaction, and the crowd were chanting Joe consistently throughout the match, innit? So
even when Wardlow's entrance, when he made his entrance, it seemed a bit flat. So yeah, it's
Which
a
is
bit
crazy.
weird.
This time last year, he was at the most over figure in the company. Like,
Listen, we need to slightly have a discussion on. I mean, Wardlow's booking, we know it's been questionable, especially around the TNT Championship, that first one. But Wardlow, to me, is like, I'm beginning to think, how have they got him wrong a bit? Like, and we know, WWE will eat this guy up, pause. But they will take him. If he became available, he's going to WWE, especially if his current booking continues. Now, for me, I was expecting Samoa Joe's retains. Obviously, we've got the X factor of Will Hobbs sitting up in the rafters with his ring, and maybe Will Hobbs gets the big win on Wednesday, because this match is actually on Wednesday against Samoa Joe, and he's the new TNT champion. Wardlow's won this title now. What happens on Wednesday?
hot potato. Hot
Straight
potato.
away.
Hot potato.
Yeah.
Now that's ultimately the right thing for Hobbs, because the momentum is with Hobbs.
Mm.
But what does that do to Wardlow?
Wardlow's been cold already. Like he's cold. He's been cold. Like, because the thing is, he was gonna if he lost the Samoa Joe match, yeah, and then let's say Samoa Joe loses to Hobbs, Wardlow would have still been. We see with Wardlow, I don't know, rehab him, put him in a group, I don't know what you do with him, but the TNT title, it ran its course. Like he had a substantial reign, and we've now, re-elevated the prestige of this title thanks to the work of Darby Allin and Samoa Joe. Don't bring it back to Wardlow. Wardlow didn't start the TNT title being meaty. It was meaty before him, but he continued in the legacy of meatiness. So we've passed the era of meaty. Put it on the book of Will Hobbs has been writing Genesis chapter 1 of Book of Hobbs. Now he's on Leviticus. He's been writing the Book of Hobbs for time. Listen, he's on New Testament. Let's finish the book now. Let's finish the Book of Hobbs and give him some TNT gold, because I like Wardlow, and he's a good wrestler. He's very good in ring. He's probably like one of the best big men in ring, but everything else, I don't know. But I feel like as well, we are going to revisit Wardlow and MJF. That is going to happen. That MJF, we're going to revisit that for a title, because obviously Wardlow beat him, and then I feel like they might reload that feud for a title, and obviously MJF will win. But Wardlow, I'm so sorry. Creative has nothing for you. NK has nothing for you. I don't know what to do with you, my friend. Maybe call up Uncle Paul Levesque and see what he's got for you.
I thought he was going to say Uncle Howdy for a sec.
Nah.
Howdy.
Nah, call up Paul. We'll put you with Braun Strowman and Omos.
What's wrong with that?
I didn't say there's something wrong with that. They're big men, isn't it? I didn't say that wrong with that.
I don't even laugh too much.
And Alfie, what's your thoughts on the future of Wardlow? Like, do you think Hobbs is winning this title on Wednesday?
Yeah, pass that to Hobbs, man. It's his time. You see, when he won that title and he was standing on top of the thing, doing what do you call it, Fear Factor. He didn't do that for no reason. Give him that title, bro. Give him that title. I think it's time. I think you can have a great title run. Yeah. And go through like being up bare man, have matches. But then again, actually, is he? Yeah, okay, cool. There's many matches he hasn't had yet, innit? So he can go around and have matches.
Man. He's mostly had squad. His biggest match is probably like Ricky. Probably CM Punk and Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Who's this? Will Hobbs?
Yeah.
So with this title, can give him an extra boost. He can have matches with people like
Jungle Boy.
I don't know, maybe Roosh. Maybe Roosh might even finish, but that might be his final destination, like a program with Roosh or something. Who else is there? Christian. If Christian wanted to come back in, you see it.
I'm not sure that Will Hobbs would work in the open challenge fashion.
No,
it sounds very Wardlow-ish.
I wouldn't give it
with Wardlow. Like, just give him like squash matches, then eventually they're giving him like lower card guys to lower mid card guys, and nothing really ever got started. And before we knew it, Samoa Joe was champion and doing a fantastic job as champion. I feel Will Hobbs needs to be put into some stories. Maybe Miro. Miro was open challenges as well, but Miro was he was delivering on another level because the character stuff was there with all the God stuff and this.
Yeah, but then maybe it could be like, maybe not necessarily like, oh, like I'm inviting you into an open challenge, but like you see how Miro was like, oh, God told me I have to beat this guy. It could be like, okay, in the book of Hobbes today, I choose. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
you're just a chapter in the book of Hobbes, and then I don't know, but yeah, I feel like there's guys that could face Hobbs, and obviously the TNT title picture never lasts that long. It's always maybe like they last maybe 2-3 pay-per-views max, and then it rotates in it. So it'll be like a good little couple month stint for him. He'll do his thing, and then we'll see.
Yeah, I hear that. Elijah agrees with you. Says the Book of Hobbes should be him calling out people weekly. Yeah, I guess that's a different proposition if he's calling people out and giving almost the opportunity sort of thing. Half says the Powerbomb Symphony was so silly. Supine Smokey says as well, MJF versus Wardlow. Yeah, that could be on the cards. A bit of a hot take here. Elijah says Wardlow and Starks are mid. They can go in New York.
Not Starks. No. No, not Ricky. Ricky's good.
Ricky's good, but I think Ricky has WWE written all over him.
Yeah, because his boy is there, innit?
I feel even before that, like he's just very WWE-esque in everything he kind of does, which makes sense. We can't forget, like, these people grew up watching this. You see what I mean? Like, that's what was on TV when they wanted to be wrestlers. So it's like, but yeah. Harv says revisit Brian Cage.
Hey,
I think leave Brian Cage on ROH, man.
Leave him there. Ooh. Because remember, we can't forget they pushed Brian Cage in the beginning. They pushed him.
They tried. They had Taz next to him doing his talking.
Because remember, it was blame Ricky Starks. Because remember, when Ricky Starks was doing Team Taz stuff, he was saying it week in, week out. Ricky Starks is outshining this guy.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks was outshining this guy. And then even remember in the feud, Brian Cage was a face. They said, Brian Cage, you can be a face. It wasn't working. Mm-hmm. They were cheering Ricky Starks when he was the heel. Brian Cage can wrestle. Bang up by Diesel. But
it's not enough.
It's
not enough. Big up Io. He says Ricky would be amazing in WWE. Feuds with Cody, Roman, Drew, Sammy. Some suggestions there. Del Boy says Cage is gonna cook in ROH though.
Oh, facts.
Yeah,
facts.
I think that's where he should be.
That's where he belongs.
I think that's good. Yeah, eventually he can break out of the 6-man tag stuff.
Good television champion. Maybe with the right faction, ROH champion. Who knows, isn't it? Now he'll cook in ROH. We'll do his thing, in it.
Yeah, cool. Let's move on to the second to last match on the card. It was the AEW World Tag Team Championship that was on the line. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal against the champions, the Guns, against the Acclaimed, against the winners of the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, who we obviously knew, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Very interesting to see Orange Cassidy coming out in black denim with Danhausen, not the usual blue that he opts for. This was a pretty decent match. It was a bit of a fun match, get the crowd warmed up a bit for the main event. There wasn't a lot of kind of, big ass spots here to kind of talk about, in my opinion. There was a bit of comedy bits with Danhausen and Orange Cassidy, of course. We saw there was a part in the match where Sanjay Dutt came out. Satnam Singh joined him in the ring. Then we saw what's his face, Billy Gunn came in, and the famous where he was basically done like a 2-leg drop, like what's they call it? What's this thing that Hulk Hogan does?
Leg drop.
I'm here just saying drop leg. A two-legged leg drop on the back of Satnam Singh. I think that's the first time we've seen Satnam Singh hit the canvas, and he rolled out. Maybe we get a Billy Gunn versus Satnam Singh match. Who knows? But then we saw the Guns win the match. They retained their championship. Following this, they had Renee Paquette in the ring. Renee Paquette just kind of asked them, the state of the division, what they're going to go on to do, etc. The Guns boasting as ever that, they're the best tag team around, this, that, and the other. Cue FTR's music. FTR came to the ring. A brawl ensued amongst the two teams. I blinked and FTR Bold was pouring blood from his head. I don't even know what happened to him. But yeah, they stood tall. They held the tag team championships over the Guns. Everyone's happy to see FTR back. Not really sure if this kind of clears, makes it any clearer in regards to their contract status. Are they finishing up? Are they just going to do the honors for the Guns on the way out, or have they signed a new deal?
PWI, I think there's a PWI report saying that they've signed hefty deals. But obviously, these are just rumors from the dirt sheets, but they've signed hefty-ish deals. Yeah, I can't lie. No, they have to have signed deals because the amount of stuff FTR Bold was doing, looking at WWE contracts, and you're signed to listen, you better have signed a new contract because you can't be doing that nonsense and then come to wrestle for my company again.
Come back to work, kid it.
Rubbish. Sign that new contract.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, PWI have reported it. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see because if FTR have a match with the Guns something in a couple of weeks, maybe like a TV and lose, then yeah, they might just be helping them to put the move on their way. Like, I think it maybe it's a bit early to tell, but if they are staying and signing, I mean that's what I think is best for them. If they want to move over to WWE and think they're going to do anything in the tag team division over there, they're laughing. They're kidding themselves. They must be going for like a final payday. Otherwise, they're just going to be on the indies, and which is also a good move for them. But yeah, I think they might as well just resign and stay in AEW.
This match was entertainment, isn't it? Like it was like, do you know what it is? Like people want to say, like compare it to like the glory days of the tag team division, and if you compare it to like the bangers we've had in the past, like yeah, it's not that in it. But for what it was, they did the best of what the people they had in it. It was like entertaining. It was no banger but visual, but just entertainment. And yeah, and then considering the match we got after it, I guess it was kind of a match to just, quiet down the crowd, make everything peace. But yeah, it was fun. Danhausen's fun. Satnam Singh is funny. That guy is, bro, he is funny. Like, I don't take Joe he's just funny to me. Every time he's in the ring, I'm just like, no, I like this guy. He doesn't do anything. He's just funny to me. He's just funny. I like him.
And after you said you like this match, innit? What were you saying?
I mean, it was fun, innit? And it was like, obviously, I've only got to like, I think I'm 5 minutes into the match. Bryan Danielson versus MJF. So this match was like a nice, fun match for us to get into that match. So yeah, man, it was cool, man. Like Danhausen was good in the ring. Him and obviously Orange Cassidy had that little what do you call it, wind up thing that kept us going for time. Funny. But yeah, it was a good, nice, funny segue for us to get to the next match. So I enjoyed it. But yeah, like I don't know. Part of me thought that these men were gonna win it, innit? Obviously, there was that pin after they got pulled out. What's their name again? Satnam, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. They got pulled out and stuff. But I think them winning it again was a good choice. But what made me laugh was the fact that when they won, when they hit 3, the crowd was fatigued, quiet. I've never heard silence like that in a wrestling match before in my life. It was funny, like, and it was celebrating. It was like these men in their ops is home from, and they just won the last kick of the game, bro. It was funny.
Yeah, people aren't too keen on the Guns, but I think they're doing some good work.
I think they're great.
Yeah. Elijah says the famous at Satnam. Yeah, so I know it's the famous of the but I didn't think it was because he sat on him. He didn't do it like he would usually do it. You see what I mean?
Old. Because you think, because Satnam's a tall guy. I saw Billy God struggle. He said
to get off. Like, man just sat on his back and fell down. Like, Lincoln says the bridge from Danhausen. I always forgot that he can actually go in the ring. Yeah, Danhausen was pretty cool. Ayo says Bold was bleeding immediately. Knowledge says Mike Johnson is reporting that Bold and Hair have signed new deals. So yeah, we'll see on that. Japan Smokey, the beauty of two big companies, AEW guys can use WWE to get better deals. Yeah, they said that Randy Orton did that, didn't he? He flirted with them. The same thing with Edge. I think when they were chasing Edge, AEW, that's when he re-signed with WWE. So
yeah, no, but Randy Orton's one took the piss. He literally posted outside Tony Khan's office.
Yeah,
he took the piss. He wanted that money.
Really put the smoke up their backsides, but Elijah says FTR need to go Japan more and build a story for themselves there. Yeah. That could be interesting.
Yeah, because that IWGP tag team division needs it. From the time you've got Okada and Tanahashi as a tag team, I can't lie. That tag team division in Japan, they need something. We say AEW tag teams in a crisis in Japan. The juniors are cooking, but the heavyweights,
the heavyweight is not it. Yeah, and especially with FTR's run as IWGP tag champs was just nothing. Like they didn't give us anything. Doughboy says Sean Ross Sapp reported that you should join WRESTHINGS membership.
He's right.
Sophia Smokey, this is not the same Billy Gunn that hit the Famouser on the Big Show. Yeah, no, this was a real struggle for Famouser. But guys, it's come to that time. Let's get into the main event. Everyone watching, we appreciate you sticking with us. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't. Let's talk about it. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship was on the line.
Start from the entrance, please. Start from the entrance.
The champion MJF defending against Bryan Danielson. We had Bryan Danielson enter first as the challenger, and then we had MJF's entrance where an orchestra, I guess that's what I call him at this point, an orchestra walked out, violins, all sorts. They played a bit of a melody before that. It wasn't recognizable, but then you could hear when they started, they changed over to playing what was the beginning of MJF's usual theme music. And then obviously lights come on, all of that kind of stuff. MJF makes his entrance. They continue playing alongside the entrance music. MJF is dressed as the devil. He's got his devil mask on. He's wearing one very lit robe as well. AEW world title poking through. This guy comes down to the ring, we have all the usual stuff. They announced all the rules of the 60-minute Ironman match. Apart from the one that if it's a draw at full time, then we're going to go to sudden death. That was left off, but I guess that's left off for dramatic effect, because that's exactly what happened here. This match started. There was a lot of smiles throughout this match. Danielson, like he absolutely loved it, because obviously the whole story was like to make MJF go. Can MJF kind of last the distance, go the distance with me? Danielson throughout was laughing, a lot of cheeky smiles, a lot of kind of let's see if he's up to it sort of thing. Those points relatively early on in the match when MJF was leaving the ring, getting back in, leaving the ring, walking around the ring, said to the camera, is this going to cost me my 5 stars, Dave, or something along those lines, that he's not going to win the Bryan Danielson award now, so he's taking the piss. Again, this is just a match with just the amount of spots and everything that these guys put into this. There was obviously the spot that everyone's kind of talking, where MJF and Danielson had MJF was in the crowd and took the drink from the mom, poured it on the kid. The drink, which I'm sure he assumed at the time himself was probably water. Apparently it wasn't water. Apparently it was tequila. All kinds of uproar, and it seems like the kid was well looked after afterwards. A lot of fans donating their merch and other stuff to the kids, and obviously AEW officials came out to smooth things over, took the kid backstage. Apparently they've given him like free tickets to Wednesday's show.
Yeah, he was chilling with Will Hobbs.
Okay, cool. So yeah, they've well looked after him then. Yeah, bruv, there was just too much stuff in this match. Like, I saw MJF pull out a moonsault. He landed it because Danielson moves out the way, but I've never seen MJF do a moonsault before.
Bro.
This was like a, what do they call it? A Canberra
Yeah.
off the ropes, springboard sort of thing.
The pin counter spot. When
The
they'll do the roll up.
Yeah.
Stand up, roll up. Ah!
The Danielson, obviously Danielson got the first pin here on like about 35 minutes or so, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then what MJF hit a low blow and then pin Danielson twice.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I noticed. Like, I really appreciate, and I guess I'm comparing it to like WWE Ironman matches. I really appreciate the announcer in between saying like Danielson has just scored a 4 or whatever the case is. Because this was just like there wasn't even that kind of break. They just literally just got into the next fall straight away.
There was no breaks between falls, and I kind of like that because it's like, yeah, we're doing an Ironman match. Why am I taking a 10-second break between falls? Wrestle.
No, I definitely hear that. I like this as well, but I even thought, could we get that aspect of just updating people on who just scored the fall or whatever the case is? But yeah, it was calm. They moved on. So at this point, and then I'm trying to remember what did Danielson equal it with for 2-2.
So for 2-2, basically what happened was, obviously I think Danielson got the first 4 and it was 1-0. Because MJF did the low blow, it was a disqualification, and that counts as a point to Danielson.
Yeah. So he was 2-0 down. That's
MJF
correct. Yeah. And then MJF came back with the 2-2. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what else we saw here. We saw like the elbow drop from the top rope, and Danielson was on the announce table outside, or the what did he call these timekeepers table? Sorry.
Tombstone through the table.
The tombstone through the table as well.
Tombstone on the second rope.
Yeah, the power driver from the second rope was crazy as well. God, what else do we have in this match?
Just I can't remember. There was a spot. I think it was towards. What was the final score? What was it?
It was 3-3. I'm trying to remember how we got
the 3-3. I'm trying to. I think it was. Didn't Danielson make MJF tap at one point?
I really can't remember,
There's too much. Just
yeah, there was a heat seeker. Yeah, I think MJF done a heat seeker move. Yeah. Took it to 3-2, and then I think he got hit with a regal stretch, and then MJF tapped, and that's what made it 3-3. So we've gone into the last 10 minutes with these guys trying to finish each other off and all of that stuff, and Danielson, as we kind of were wrapping it up, Danielson had him in the crab, Boston crab, and he just wouldn't tap. He fainted tapping a couple of times, didn't tap, and right on when the buzzer went, the match is done. That's when he started tapping. We saw MJF immediately. The medics come into the ring, giving man oxygen and all sorts. Which, because obviously this is the man that was never supposed to last 60 minutes. Excalibur done a great job, I think, around the 38-minute mark or 40-minute mark, saying that this is officially the longest match MJF has ever been in his career, telling that story as well. And obviously, so 60 minutes comes, man's trying to take oxygen quickly as if he's gonna die, and then the crowd is booing because what's his face, the announcer, was it Jason? What's his name? Jason.
I can't remember his name.
So he's basically said that the match is a tie. MJF retains. Crowd is booing. Crowd is going crazy. TK is probably laughing his head off backstage because he knows what he's about to pull. gets on the earpiece to what's his face, Tony Schiavone.
Tony
Schiavone's just talking to himself there, and Taz is like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" And Tony Schiavone makes his way down to the ring. Justin Roberts, that's his name, tells Justin Roberts, "Yo, that we're gonna restart the match. Tony Khan is not having the main event end in a draw." The crowd go wild. Danielson's up on his 2 feet. He's like, "Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go." MJF is shook that they're about to restart the match. They restart the match. There was some quick exchanges right at the beginning to see, at this point, a sudden death. We saw MJF try to use the belt at first, and referee Bryce Rimsberg was like, "Yo, if you use this belt, I'm disqualifying you, giving the point to Danielson, and you lose your title. So if you want to, Bryce literally went, be my guest if you want to use the title," which obviously MJF was caught in 2 minds about. And then we saw MJF trying to use the Dynamite Diamond Ring, which eventually he got caught with, and the referee took it off him again. So yeah, some really good stuff. It's like MJF's now at this point running out of options as to what he could use. I'm trying to remember the move of what it was that toppled him out the ring.
So I think what happened was I think Danielson might have had him in like a Boston Crab situation, or I know it was a submission. It was a Boston Crab situation.
Yeah.
But obviously MJF, because Danielson was facing the other side of the audience, MJF had gotten to the ropes, but MJF had also tapped as soon as he touched the ropes. So Danielson let go because he thought, oh, like he tapped, like it's done. But obviously, Bryce Rimsberg, like, what did Bryce Rimsberg was talking to Danielson and be like, no, like the match isn't done. But MJF had rolled out of the ring, and then obviously he found the oxygen tank.
But you know the good thing about that spot just there, just need to add, because obviously Danielson's been doing his shtick of I've got till 5.
Yeah.
You hold the rope, I've got till 5, and Danielson then lets go after 5. So MJF holding the rope, then starts tapping. Obviously, like you said, Danielson thinks he's won, so he releases it immediately.
Yeah.
Even though he's got till 5. And yeah, thinks he's won. MJF has pulled on over on him, rolls out the ring. The oxygen tank is local. Danielson kind of comes in front of the referee to get MJF back into the ring, gets clocked over the head with the oxygen tank. MJF hides the evidence under the ring, gets back into the ring, tries to put the salt. Was it the salt of the earth he tried to put on him again?
No, he
was
put
it the LeBell lock? That was a LeBell lock. But the referee done the whole holding the arm up thing 3 times. On the third one, like Danielson there shaking, he was up. Yeah, but eventually it was his own LeBell lock that MJF had him in that he tapped out to, and MJF retains it. Pretty much the result we all thought. This match was excellent. I think it surpassed any thoughts I thought the match would be. Probably haven't done it justice in that description at all. Again, if you ain't seen the match or ain't finished watching it, you definitely need to see it. It was drama, especially in that sudden death. There was no point in that match I thought that MJF was not winning this title until there was a Psycho knee in sudden death.
And
that Danielson hit this guy with Psycho knee, and I jumped out of my chair. I said, "Yo, it's a wrap. Danielson's winning the title." And MJF kicked out at 2, and I was like, "Okay, MJF is winning this." Yeah, that was the real part of Jeopardy, the only kind of real Jeopardy I saw in this match. But otherwise, just absolutely fantastic. What did you guys think of this?
Listen, this is the best main event AEW have ever done. This is the best, like this is the best pay-per-view main event. This is the best main event you will see on Dan. This is the best main event AEW have ever done.
I don't think that's an outlandish statement at all, to be fair.
No, this match was like absolutely ridiculous. Like I was watching the match, and then when they got to 35 minutes, I was like, we've done. It's already at 35 minutes already. That the pacing of this match was excellent. And what I liked about this match is that, they waited to give us the near falls, but at the same time, once we got the pins, it's like, like these men are exhausted. The pins, they kept trading pins back and forth, and it was an even match. And it was like, there were moments, of course, like if you watch it, and I feel like Ironman matches, like if you know the finish and if you know what time certain like pinfalls can like take away from the match, but watching it live, that match was sensational. And then when the sudden death happened, yeah, because when the discussion we were having that before the pay-per-view was like, oh, how are you going to keep a crowd entertained for 60 minutes, right?
They done it still.
When sudden death happened, yeah, and then you have a crowd cheering for more wrestling after you've wrestled for 60 minutes. The crowd were like, no, we want more. This ain't enough. And the match went 65 minutes. The crowd were awake. You see when Danielson was powering out on that submission, the crowd were alive. Listen, I can't lie, this is one of the best matches. Like, I feel like if you're doing like a top 10 matches in AEW, this match has to be in there. This match is incredible. And listen, we've spoken about MJF's title reign and how we can improve it, but listen, I don't want to hear no disrespect when it comes to MJF anymore, because no, we've critiqued him objectively about the reign, but then people be like, oh, I don't see the hype with MJF, he's overrated, all he knows is shoot promos. Close your dirty mouths. This guy is better than a lot of wrestlers. If you put him with Banga Badigios, he'll be there. This can wrestle. Oh, this match is sensational. Like, and then people are even putting this in like one of the best Ironman matches conversations. And you know what? Obviously, it's recency bias, but like this is definitely one of the best Ironman matches I've seen easily. This match was perfection. This is 5 stars. Monclizzi, match of the year candidate. Put all of it on it. Put the accolades. Dave Meltzer, start writing 5.
I know for you said he ain't quite finished this match yet, but what's your thoughts?
We can't
hear you, bro.
Hear me now?
Yeah. You're gone again.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What?
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
It's gone again.
This is
Joe, let me change to this.
You're good now.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's crackling.
Bonnet. Let's go straight to the mic. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Fuck this. I've seen a lot of good reviews online. A lot of people are saying that this is one of the best matches that MJF has wrestled. Some people are saying that MJF, I didn't know MJF could wrestle like this, or I forgot that MJF could wrestle like this. But bro, the stocks have been there from early.
Yeah,
you see it when MJF wrestles, it's a banger bandage all the time, innit? I love the way he wrestles, man. So it's probably good. But I'm this guy that couldn't watch it live. I didn't have my health went down yesterday, so I had to go to sleep and rest. So I tried to continue today. I literally got to the 5 minutes into the match, and I was like, yeah, I need to actually concentrate whilst watching this because I don't want to miss anything. So I'm gonna try and watch it tomorrow, probably today. Actually, no, I don't watch it. I need to go to that night nurse, but I'll watch it tomorrow for sure. And I'll give my review on Wednesday.
No, definitely, bro. This match slapped. Like for something that was obviously so late on in the show, in the evening. They, like I said, they still had the crowd buzzing for it throughout. That the whole myth of can they keep people entertained for 60 minutes? They did that. They over delivered on that. The blood connoisseur, they worked the blood well into all areas of the match. It was very well done. Where it was like a little collision that caused the blood, there was that. Where it was like a big collision that caused the blood, I think there was the spot where Daniel Bryan done a diving headbutt, landed on MJF, or MJF just burst into blood, bro.
I like that.
Yeah, they done a very, very good job. Just to take some of the comments here, Elijah says that the last 7 minutes is the best AEW has produced so far, in his opinion. High praise, but I hear it. I completely hear it. Lenka says TK planned this out brilliantly, and says he said, "Have you forgotten who I am with this booking?"
When it comes to pay-per-views, he knows what he's doing, isn't it? Like he knows what he's doing. Pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's a very rare occasion when it doesn't deliver, in my opinion. He's got a lot of credit in the bank when it comes to that. And Lincoln agrees that this is generally one of the best AEW matches of all time. Elijah says, "Yo, I screamed when Danielson's hand went up for the third time." When they were doing that, yeah, like on the second one, I was literally like, "Oh, come on!" I was like a fan, like a little kid. I was watching the screen. I was like, "Oh, come on, Danielson, give us something!" And then his hand caught his hand. I was like, "Oh, okay, he's still in it." Yeah,
Now when he
they
tapped, I
got
was
on.
so. When he
When
tapped,
he
I was,
what?
when Danielson tapped, I was like, raw, like that. That's a definitive finish.
Yeah.
Like, man, this.
None of this pass out stuff and stuff. But you know what? One thing I will say, when it was 3-3 and it ended, and they said it was ended, and they were selling us that it was ending, I was content. I was happy.
Yeah, I was happy.
I was like, okay, it plays into MJF brilliantly. He's escaped Danielson basically. Like I could have done with the match ending there. I didn't mind it at all. And then when obviously they continued it, like that last 5 minutes or whatever was just pure drama. Like it was just so good in terms of how they put that together.
Yeah, I can't lie. Obviously, we're gonna wrap up soon, but I can't lie. Now recapping this pay-per-view, I think this might be top 5 AEW pay-per-views. I feel like the only pay-per-views that definitively put above this one is, well, obviously All Out. I think nothing will top that one. All Out, and then Forbidden Door. Even though I think this ended stronger than Forbidden Door, but I feel like the middle portion of Forbidden Door was a bit better. But this is debatable. You could put this above Forbidden Door, and I won't. Yes,
Forbidden Door, a lot of it's the good grace that people will have for it is just the two worlds colliding and seeing just absolute dream matchups. But this, in terms of that a wrestling show that didn't have loads of reliance on returns and surprises and all of that kind of stuff, pure good wrestling. This was a very, very strong show
for sure,
from top to bottom.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the returns point, because I feel like sometimes I don't say AEW was coming over reliant, but we expected a return every or a debut at every pay-per-view, and this pay-per-view was nah, we're solely gonna push the hands that we have, and if we do see a return, it's of people who are already here, like FTR. And I feel like this was a pay-per-view where it's we don't need to rely on surprise pops. We're gonna show you the talent we have, we are more than capable of putting a stellar show, and this is I feel like this is top 3 AEW pay-per-views for me. And it's this is I haven't had this feeling about AEW in a long time. I came out of this pay-per-view feeling I'm gassed. You see Dynamite, I'm gassed to watch it because of this pay-per-view's just lit a fire under me that I haven't had. Because you saw me on 2 weeks ago, I was bud AEW. I was on it. But you see, after this pay-per-view, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm back.
They've done a very good job. I think since Full Gear, obviously where you can see the shift has happened, they're invested a bit more in the younger talents and the AEW originals and all that kind of stuff. And to be fair, naturally, as a crowd, I think we just need to understand, because they are making this sudden change in, who they're investing more time into, even the Guns are tag team champions now. Things are going to be slower because it's not those top guys that we got invested in the company for. You see what I mean? They're trying to take a different kind of way, and things are going to be a bit slower. I mean, hopefully we're not asking for it to be too slow now going into the next pay-per-view in the next 3 months or whatever. But there has to be a level of understanding from the crowd, and you can see on their day, they always deliver. And that's one thing I always give AEW, whatever, no matter what the build will be, I can't ever say, after, the feeling sometimes you watch WWE pay-per-view and you're just thinking, I want that 3 or 4 hours of my life back. What have I just wasted my time watching, sort of thing, staying up for, we do in this country. You see what I mean? I've never felt that way for an AEW pay-per-view, even whatever one you want to shout at and say is the weakest that they've done in 3 years. So yeah, really good show. And I'm hoping that, like you said, Dynamite on Wednesday is a banger and kind of sets up the next couple of months. Scores out of 5. How are we rating this pay-per-view?
It's definitely is it? Can we do 0.5s?
Yeah,
no?
I was gonna go with probably 4.5.
I'm gonna go 4.5. 4.5. I don't know, but you know what it is? I thought, what would have made this pay-per-view a 5? I don't know. Because there's nothing I would have changed, really. What would have made this pay-per-view a flat-out undeniable 5?
if I'm being picky, I might say something in regard to that tag match.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Either booking it differently or the personnel within it should
Personnel, I
have
think.
been
Yeah.
there.
If the
Yeah,
tag match had a stronger personnel, then we could be looking at a 5 with it.
Yeah. And Alfie, any contributions? I know you ain't finished it yet.
I haven't finished it yet, so at the moment I'm giving it a 3. Just because I haven't finished it yet, I want to fully watch the MJF and Bryan Danielson match, and after But guys, don't grill me. I just haven't watched it yet. I need to.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Watch it properly, innit?
Mandem in the chat chiming in. Elijah 4 out of 5. Lincoln 4.75. Sapine Smokey 4. Io says 9.5 out of 10, even though we're ranking it out of 5. Thanks, Io. Knowledge says 5 out of 5. Elijah says 2 classics for a 5. Knowledge says this show is a 5 for me. 2 of the best matches ever promoted on pay-per-view, a fantastic trios match, and a good wrestling elsewhere. It's facts.
If somebody said a 5 to me, like, I'm not arguing it, innit? I'm just, the only reason I'm not putting out but do you know what it is? I always say, like, All Out is better, but I don't know, All Out, I think it's experience tax as well, because of the experience I had with All Out.
Yeah.
Because if I look at this pay-per-view, obviously All Out had, like, the highest of highs when it came to obviously the Young Bucks match, obviously the debuts at the end. But if I look at this card, I feel like top to bottom, this is the most consistent card AEW have ever produced.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Top to bottom, like, there's just consistency, like, no matches below, like, a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. No, that's facts. That's facts. Boys, we'll bring it to an end there. Big up everyone that joined the stream. Big up everyone that's gonna watch this back. Like I said, All Out, AEW Revolution. All Out AEW AEW Revolution 2023. It's in the books. You got your predictions from us. You got your review now. Next time you hear from us is later this week in terms of the podcast. Like we said earlier, we now have the Indie Takers podcast hosted by Del Boy on the channel as well. So for your indie wrestling fix, make sure you tune into that weekly. It's going to go up on Sundays on the channel as well. Subscribe if you're new here, you know, all the regular stuff. Hit the like button as well on this video. And if you're feeling you want to talk some more All Out, you want to talk some more about wrestling, we've got a Discord. It's on our membership, so you can join them and become a member today. And we'll see you in the Discord. But other than that, you'll catch us guys later on during the week. Any last words, boys?
Banga Badizio lives on, you know what I'm saying? This is what we live for. Pour It Gang is back.
That's right.
I would love to see it.
Trust. Yeah. And Alfie, watch the rest of it, bro. And
I need to watch the rest. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. I need to watch the rest, man. So
cool. All right then, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we shall see you next time.